Welcome back to the Webby and O'Neill channel, and it's the match preview, Manchester United versus Arsenal. As usual, Reds, we want to know your opinion, so get involved in the chat and we'll try and discuss some of your comments throughout today's video. On a personal note, this is a game I actually like discussing, enjoy it, just because of the way you pronounce Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Say it proper with that deep, rugged voice.
Arsenal. Listen, there's no doom and gloom here, let me tell you. If I was an Arsenal fan, I'd wake up, because you're coming to Old Trafford and it's going to be a red, hot atmosphere. Same with Thursday night. United fans are angry, they're disappointed, and they're going to get it all out on Sunday. And Arsenal are in for a shock.
Got to be honest with you, I've just listened to his press conference, what he'd done after the Sociedad game for this Man United-Arsenal match. And I've got to be honest, I couldn't find anything in there to give me any motivation, a bounce off the manager of what he's thinking going into this game. And it's probably the first time that's happened with a Man United manager going into this sort of fixture.
He's ill. He's absolutely ill with what he's got to work with. You've seen the bench the other night. The bench is going to be poor again. We've even got Dorgu out. There's no sign of any players coming back from injury. We are down to the bare bones. And that's why Arsenal better beware, because we are going to fight for our lives on Sunday. We are going to stop what any faint hopes Arsenal have got left of challenging for the league, and we're going to stop it. There is a shock coming. Shock inside the ground. There's going to be a shock on the pitch. And when I say a shock, a draw. Now, I am over the moon with the draw with this side. I understand why Rúben Amorim, his press conference, he felt down. He looked down. But they're going to rise to the occasion. As soon as they come out, that ground will be rocking. Everyone's going out. There's a demonstration. Ruben mentioned it. The fans are going to be up for it. It's a chance for everyone to get it out of the system. And we've all been given that whistle. And when it blows, we're all on it.
Yeah, he did mention about Harry Maguire, Ugarte, but he says, I don't know. We just need to survive on Sunday. The team are so tired in the last 20 minutes of the game against Real Sociedad. You're looking at the game against Ipswich, down to 10 men playing a full half there, extra minutes and the legs in the FA Cup tie against Fulham, then travelling away to Sociedad. Quick turnaround then to the game on Sunday. So, yeah.
Well, if as an Arsenal fan listening to that, I'd say it's all over. We're going to just thrash you 10-0. But that's not the case. That's not football. United are down to bare bones. They are tired. You look at the bench, no one's going to come on and rescue United. The players, what start the game, whatever he picks, has got to fight. And what we're going to do, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to start at the halfway line on our own box, and we're going to defend, and we're going to fight. The first 20 minutes is going to tell you everything. And the crowd are going to be right behind United for the first 20 minutes. If they see they're going to get there, the crowd will on United to fight, and United are going to do that. That's what I believe. And then from that moment onwards, after 20 minutes, there's a game on.
Yeah, with you mentioning the protest, he was actually asked that from one of the journalists over there. Yeah. He said, people have the right to protest. I think it's a good thing to do that. It's part of our club and everyone has a voice. But my job, it's to improve the team, give them something in the moment, because they, the fans, deserve it and they are amazing. And if there is anyone out there who's looking for more information and wants to get involved in the protest before the game on Sunday, head over to the 1958 website or over their Twitter page to find out more information.
Yeah, the fans there, they'll be protesting, they'll go to the game, they'll be raucous, but what it is, it's the ground. I look at the ground. People are angry. People are disappointed with what's going on. So they've been given the shout, get in there, have your protest, but people will be angry at what they're seeing this season and what's going on in everything. So it's a chance for everyone to be able to stand up, open their mouths, shout, bawl, and just egg on this team to fight. Listen, they're going to sit there, United. The midfield is poor, and Arsenal will come straight at it. They're good in the midfield. They will really get people in there just to take it over. So United have to play a defensive game. That's how I say it. It's a big problem for United. We all know that. We're not daft, but they're going to have to box it and just fight as anything in there, and then just get the ball and then hope for the breakaway. That's all you can hope for, a fighting performance. And I love it when it's like this. I do. I love it when it's like this. Everything's against us. Everyone's waiting for United to fall flat on the face. Arsenal are coming here. We can just stop them now, just kill any faint hopes, and then let's just do them. We know they're good. How are we going to score goals? Well, Arsenal, best central defensive pairing. I see it. That's how I see it in the league. So it's going to be tough, really tough. Might get 2 chances. We're going to have to sit there, bite our nails, and just hope that we can hold them, fight, and get the odd chance. But a draw for me on the cards. And that is a great result. That is a fantastic result when you look at everything going around.
So in a nutshell, the tactics, get the tents out, get the pegs out, camp in our half, and look for a breakaway. I
think that's how it's going to be. I think Arsenal will force us back, force us in our own half. They're going to come. They want to win. Scored 7 goals the other night. So they're up for it. They want the goals. People have criticised them for not scoring goals, not having a striker and that. Well, this team, the Arsenal team, proves that when they're on the game, they can go at it. They don't have to rely on anyone to score goals. Just a pity they started scoring goals the other night, playing United. But we'll see.
He was asked about the role of being the Manchester United manager, and he did say he would not have the time that Mikel Arteta has. He feels that it's a different club. And do you feel that, let's say Rúben Amorim did win the Europa League this season, but then went 4 or 5 years after without winning a trophy? Do you think the pressure would be different here on Rúben Amorim?
I don't think if he won the Europa League this year and went 4 or 5 years without a trophy, he'd be here in 4 or 5 years. That's not the case. United have to improve. They have to fight for Champions League. They have to fight for the league in less than 4 or 5 years. So it's a different club, different mentality, different pressure. So Arsenal, they've got away with it. Won the FA Cup under Arteta when he got there, but that wasn't his team. He only had a few months with him, and he's not produced it. He's failed. He might fail again this year. They've won nothing in Europe, but Europe looks the only route. And finally, the nail in the coffin. If they don't win, that is the final nail in the coffin for another attempt at winning the league where they bottled it.
I was trying to look for some stats, a bit of positivity going into the Europa League game. I did actually find some, which if you watched the preview for that game, actually, come true, didn't it, really, in terms of, our away record over there, especially with English clubs. But I couldn't find really any stats to sort of give me that positivity as well. I can only see Arsenal's last 2 Premier League games, a draw and a loss to West Ham at home. But then you look at that midweek clash, what they've done in the Champions League, and what was it, 7-1 it ended?
Yeah,
but they're struggling to score, Arsenal, recently, and just absolutely netted.
There is no stats. There is no stats for positive. There's nothing positive going into this game as a football team. We're bare bones. We'll have kids on the bench, okay? Players out on the pitch aren't good enough, okay? When we open up, we try and attack, we leave ourselves open. But this game, the only positive is that we're going to sit there and fight and stop Arsenal and then hope for a counter-attack. There's no Manchester United playing at Old Trafford, here we go, let's attack and all that. This is a fighting game. And that's what the fans are going to expect. They're going to come to Old Trafford and they expect to fight.
If we get into situations like we did with Delo against Real Sociedad, where you've got Højlund screaming for the ball, making a good run in front of the defender, we need to take them opportunities.
Listen, Delo, last year, he was like the most consistent player. This year, he's been one of the most inconsistent, and it's baffling the other night. Opportunities come, you cross the ball or you get it to your striker straight away, you don't hesitate. And that was a failing from Delo, but it's been a failing all year from the team. Now, what do? They're not going to be expansive. They are just going to hoof it up and try and catch him. There is no niceties about this game. There's no niceties about the crowd, the atmosphere, anything. United fans are going to turn this, hopefully, into a red-hot atmosphere. And some people say an atmosphere of hate, and I'd go along with that in certain aspects. But people are disgruntled. People are unhappy at what they're seeing. So there's lots of reasons United fans are going to get up for this game. They're not going to wake up on Sunday and just think, oh, right, I'm going to Old Trafford, we're playing Arsenal, we're rubbish, there's no positives, no nothing. No, they're going there. Some people have a right good drink, get right up for it and all that. So Arsenal, you're in trouble. I'm telling you, you're in trouble. As I've said, I've seen it time and time again over my time watching United. When it's down, when it's bad, the fans get behind them. And that's the only positive I've got for Sunday.
Yeah, Dorgu's out, obviously continuing that suspension with that red card he picked up against Ipswich as well. So you're looking at a back five there, really, aren't you, with the actual five being defenders, in particular the wing-backs as well?
Well, the back five all being defenders, and that's the state of the game. That's where the game starts, and that's where it will continue. Defending, that's where everything will be put into stopping Arsenal in defending, fill that midfield. Anyone who's up front, they will be coming back. There'll be no press. There will be no press on the Arsenal defence. When the goalie's got the ball trying to give it out, United players will not be stretching themselves. They will play tight. And when you play tight, you've got to have Bruno playing tight right in the middle. So I think he'll be in a good position, right, to spring United whenever that opportunity arises. I think the press can't do it. Stay tight, halfway line. What's the point of chasing Arsenal? When if you open up, we're finished. You know, that's the reality of what this Manchester United team is. It's a poor side. But going into this game, there's no players. There's no one to look forward to. Who's going to take this team along? Who's going to rescue this team? It's not there. So, you know, work hard, first 20 minutes. That's it. And then I fear if we don't work hard in that first 20 minutes, I actually fear Arsenal will punish us and then they won't let go. They'll get us by the throat and then they'll just rub our faces in the dirt. That's what they think they're coming for. But I think they're in for a shock. So that first 20 minutes, with the crowd behind them, with the hostility and everything inside the ground, I think that first 20 minutes will galvanise this team. And that's what they need, because they're not getting it from the manager. That manager today, he was down on the floor. It's like, I don't know what to do here. I've got no team. I've got no players to inspire or anything like that. But the fans will get behind, and I think the players will react to it. Regardless of what anyone thinks about any individual player out there, I think they'll all work hard and they'll go for it.
Yeah, let's hope so. Fingers crossed. And you're looking at the team, what we put out against Real Sociedad. Do you think he'll start that same 11 again on Sunday with the tight turnarounds, or do you think he might try and freshen it up with maybe one or two youngsters who he had on the bench?
Well, it's not a matter of might. He has to change it because Dorgu's not there, right? And will he change it with a few youngsters? He has to bring the youngsters in, and he might bring Obi in. Who knows? Okay, but really, would you think of bringing him in, knowing that you're going to play a defensive game? That's how the mindset's going to be. So if you bring Obi in and put him up front on his own against them central defenders, which are the best, I see it, in the Premier League, waste of time for the kids. You'll just destroy him. There's no point. You might as well have Rasmus up there, who'll try and run for that long ball and who will probably just end up having a wrestling match with him up there.
Tropical says in the chat, no wonder Rasmus has lost his confidence if he never gets the ball. If you look at successful centre forwards, they have 5 shots and score 1. Rasmus is expected to score with only 1 chance.
No, that's true. The service he gets has been poor right the way through his time here at Manchester United, and that's not helped him. It's not helped his confidence or anything. You always have to have so many chances to be able to put it away. Either the goalie pulls off a good save or you shoot it straight at the goalie or it's gone over. So 4 or 5 chances you need in a game. And our forwards, our goal scorers aren't getting that. I can't even tell you who our goal scorers are, to be honest with you. And like I say, going up against this Arsenal defence, I don't think they've got a chance of scoring goals. They may nick a goal, and that'd be fantastic.
Fred Grantham, thanks for gifting 5 memberships.
Top man.
5 people who've been gifted them memberships. Give a big thank you to Fred, the legend. How are you pronouncing your profile name there? Viewer says, Arsenal have been figured out in the Prem. We can barely score goals. It's going to be difficult. Do you think Arsenal have been figured out in the Prem?
I think
the big thing for them is... Go on, sorry.
I don't think they've been figured out. I think what it is, they've been weakened, and I think they've let it get to him. The free-flowing football sort of went away for some point, but it seems to have come back at the wrong time for us. I don't think they've been caught out. I think it's the injuries, and like Odegaard, for instance, good player, really good player. When he's come back from injuries, I think it's took him longer than expected to sort of get playing football. But they are back to playing football. Rice, he's back to playing football. He looks energetic. He actually looks fitter and meaner than I've seen him for a long, long time. So that is a worry.
Andy Bell, thanks for gifting 5 memberships as well. The 5 people have been gifted their memberships. Give a big thank you to Andy. Roland says, lads, they look very tired. I think we're looking very tired as well. It's been a long week as well for us. I don't know about yous out there. But he said Arsenal have had 2 extra days of rest as well in preparation. They played on Tuesday. We was obviously on Thursday night.
No team looks tired after scoring 7 goals. Don't matter where you've been. You could have been to Timbuktu and back. Right, you scored 7 goals. You want to get out there, and the accusation for Arsenal has been they've got no goal scorers and that. Well, they've just proved everyone wrong by scoring 7, and they rammed it down their throats the other night. Them players aren't tired. You won't see them tired. They will be running and running and running. They want to score more goals, and one thing they don't want to do is be embarrassed at Old Trafford. They don't want their potential season-ending challenging for the league. Yes, we know it's difficult for Arsenal. It doesn't look at this moment on paper that they can win the league, but they're still in it, and they don't want to be kicked right out of it by losing at Old Trafford.
Robbie says on Rasmus Højlund, if he gets himself into a passing position instead of barging into defenders, he'll fit into the system. I did notice, especially in the first half, he was doing less of that like WWE, like wrestling with the defenders, and he was trying to drop more into a deeper position into midfield to get himself some space, and he should actually try doing that more often, I think, and using a bit of that football intelligence to get away from the defenders.
I think when you look at Rasmus backing into players and wrestling with them, you've got to look at the opposition the other night. They weren't looking for a battle. They were looking to play football, play it on the floor, and keep away from Rasmus as much as they can for that physical duel. And Rasmus did have space in that, but nothing really came of it. No, when there's a battle going on, and there will be a battle with Arsenal defenders, whether it's on the left, the right, or down the middle, there's a battle, and Rasmus, unfortunately, will get drawn into that, and that's something he has to change. But he's not getting the ball, is he? Let's have it right. He's just not getting the ball.
Do you think he'll go with Garnacho and Xerxes in the 10s again?
He can't change it. He just can't change it. There's no one there to change it
Eriksen?
with. I think when you look at Dorgu, I think you might have to bring Eriksen in. I think you have to bring Eriksen. There's no one else, and that's the thing, and that's the problem. Will Eriksen last the game? Will Casemiro last the game? For Casemiro, he will just have to sit there. None of that going forward or sprinting or anything like that. We know he's not got the legs. So when you look at Eriksen, when you look at Casemiro, we already know they haven't got the legs. Sit there. Just sit there and then just hope that we can be able to pass it around him and then just spring for a chance for one of the forwards to get onto it. There's no point, like I say, why try and close them down? You know they're going to come through you soon as we open up. So just sit halfway line and battle and just fight them.
Yeah, Martin says the actual football IQ, I'm mentioning it about Rasmus, is at an all-time low at this football club, and you can have all the quality, the talent in the world, but if that decision making in up there with that, you know, you're never going to be a successful footballer, especially at the top clubs as well. I
think the football IQ runs right round this club. It's at a low for a lot of these players. They've no trust in each other. They're given instructions, told what to do all the way through the week in training and everything like that, and then the IQ goes over. I mean, if you look at Garnacho, for instance, you know, he's told what to do. He was put on the right Thursday night, and what does he do? He doesn't listen to the instructions time and time again. We've seen it, you know, and we give him a little bit of space, a little waiver for being young, but he wasn't tracking back. He wasn't running back the other night, and he got pulled for it. So if we had a full squad, he might have been he might have been a casualty for the Arsenal game, but we actually need him. But the IQ, you know, you're given instructions, you follow the instructions, and that's what we've seen all season. Players aren't following the instructions.
I think De Ligt had a good couple of games off, even against the Fulham in the FA Cup, which we got knocked out. I think one of his best games in a Man United shirt. Thought he played pretty well as well against Real Sociedad. Anything that come through the midfield behind Bruno and Casemiro, he was always there 9 times out of 10 to just mop things up as well.
Yeah, De Ligt's improving. You can see that. And what you want to see is you want to see them playing regular. And I said it the other night, you know, them 3 at the back there, Yoro and De Ligt and Mazraoui. Just keep them there. Just keep them playing. Don't, even in the next game when we play on Thursday, don't start changing it. Let these players get to work together. A bit of an understanding and a bit of confidence between Onana. Let him have someone there who he's getting used to. These players swapping and changing all the time is no good. Yes, I understand. We've got injuries in that and needs must. But listen, let's have these players in the back playing regular.
Jungle says, throw the young lads in. They've no fear and a lot to prove. And I'd be very sceptical about starting any of the younger players like Obi Martin. But maybe the last 20 minutes of the game, why not?
Listen, he might throw the surprise in and put Collier in there. Okay? He just might put him in. Toby Collier might be put in there. Who knows? Or he might think to himself, right, well, one of these players, once they've run the legs off him, once they're knackered, bring him on for that extra speed and that, which he will give you, and he will also bite. He will get stuck in there. So Collier, to me, is the only alternative to bring into that midfield, whether he starts him or whether he brings him on.
Yeah,
because he'd definitely be needed. There's no two ways about it. There's players on there what haven't got the legs and won't last 90 minutes. Just going right at it.
Yeah, for me, I don't think Collier would be actually a big surprise, to be fair. I think when you look at some of the games he's played for United, especially the Arsenal away fixture in the FA Cup, when he come on there, he just slotted in like a glove. He looked a natural, especially with the heat of the atmosphere at that time he come on as well, and we was down to 10 men. And for me, bringing any of the young lads on, and if it's, you know, it's gone pear-shaped, you know, and it's looking like a 3 or a 4-0 and we're not looking in a good position. I don't think that'd do any of the youngsters maybe any good bringing them on then with 20 minutes to go. So it's all about how he does manage the game as well, Rúben Amorim, depending on what the scoreline is, really.
Yeah, but if you look at Collier coming back from injury, would you really want to start him? That's what people will be asking. He's got to be managed. That injury's got to be managed. So, you know, depending on the score, what's going on, will he come on for 20 minutes? Will he come on for half time? You know, players there will get knackered. Definitely Casemiro will get knackered because he will be run ragged. There's no two ways about it. So maybe not Collier start the game, but he'll be there to come on ready to shore up that midfield.
Yeah, let's hope we don't see any tackles where he's diving in, Casemiro, because he could be in trouble, especially with how quick Arsenal move the ball. Sammy Assey, cheers for your super chat. There is no shock for Arsenal as we have Enwere, who will terrorise your defence, and you have to attack. Oh, you have no attack, sorry.
No, well, if you listen, we have no attack, so we're going to sit there. We're going to block you. We're going to frustrate you, okay? And when people get frustrated, right, they get sloppy, and that's what United are going to hope for. So there could be a shock. And as I said, the shock could be we get a draw.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank you all for joining us today. Obviously, like I mentioned at the start of the video, I couldn't really take any positive news from Amorim's press conference, but after having a chat with you and everyone else out there, you know, I've been lifted a little bit. And as we all know, I expect it to be a red-hot atmosphere in there on Sunday, and every fan at the ground, at home, in the pub, wherever you're watching it, to be getting behind the team. And let's hope we can get a decent result out of this game. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back straight after the game on Sunday, so get that notification on and we'll see you there. Take care and enjoy your day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy your weekend.